Hello friends, welcome to our brand new video. You won't believe what's at number 1 in today's video, so make sure you stay to the end. Though apocalyptic, there's something beautiful about abandoned places. The clocks have stopped ticking and there's not a soul in sight, but the shell of what used to be remains. Abandoned places show us what happens without constant human upkeep, and perhaps what could even happen to the places we love and frequent. These spots are haunting, and there is a mysterious beauty in neglect. The following locations, albeit somewhat weathered over time, are some of the most striking we've ever seen. Watch on to see the most beautiful abandoned places in the world and learn their backstories. You'll almost feel voyeuristic looking at them, witnessing a very intimate piece of someone else's life. Before starting the video, please remember to hit the like button at the end and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Coming in at number 10, Presidio Modelo Cuba. Empty since 1967, this model prison still radiates desperation and paranoia. Commissioned in 1962 by dictator Gerardo Macho and inspired by the Pantecon model, its oppressive architecture was designed to create a sense of constant, invisible monitoring. Even though Fidel Castro was once an inmate here, under Castro's government the prison's population ballooned to over 6,000 enemies of the state. Now in museums, visitors can experience the forbidding atmosphere still present in those echoing corridors and vacant cells. Coming in at number 9, ZKP Tansky, Moscow, Russia. Hidden 60 meters below the streets of Moscow lies ZKP Tansky, a 7,000 square meter space which once served as a secret Cold War era communication center. Built in the 1950s, this vast complex was designed to withstand direct nuclear attack and filled with enough supplies to stay running for months afterwards. Since its declassification in 1995, Bunker 42 has drawn many visitors, keen to delve into the secrets of the past. Coming in at number 8, Kalyzin, Russia. Boldly rising 75 meters above the waterline, the bell tower of the flooded St. Nicholas Church marks the site where the Russian town of Kalyzin once stood. When the Uglich Reservoir was created in 1939, the town was purposely flooded and the landscapes were irreplaceably altered. Attracted to the simplistic beauty of the remaining belfry, tourists visiting on boats can explore the enduring landmark of the sunken town. And coming in at number 7, also a little bit of a tongue twister, San Juan Paraguaricho, Machucon, Mexico. Defyingly protruding from a desolate landscape of ash and lava, this church tower is all that remains of the devastated village of San Juan in Mexico. Beginning in 1943, successive eruptions of the Parichutin volcano slowly engulfed houses, streets, and livelihoods, masking all signs of life under a black cloak of molten rock and ash. Today, tourists drawn to this isolated ruin can marvel that it's still intact, though vacant, altered inside. Number 6, Raijung Hotel, Payang. Unoccupied, unopened, and never finished, the 105-story shell of the Ryu Hotel is a scar on Payang's skyline and North Korea's pride. Construction on the hotel began in 1987 but stopped after 5 years due to the lack of funds. Once proudly emblazoned in North Korean stamps, this vacant hotel soon became airbrushed out of the official photos. Despite nearly 2 decades of abandonment, construction resumed in 2008, but whether the hotel will ever be completed is open to debate. Coming in at number 5, Varosha, Cyprus. An urban museum of corroding classic cars, dilapidated high-rise hotels, and shopfronts boasting the latest from the 1970s fashion. For the deserted Vashora quarter in Famagusta city, time froze in 1974. Following the Turkish invasion of Cyprus, Vashora's inhabitants were forced into a life of exile. Once a favorite destination for the rich and famous, people today can only peep through barbed wire as the nature reclaims the buildings. Coming in at number 4, Bodie Ghost Town, California, USA. Settled by prospectors lured by the California gold rush in the mid-1800s, Bodie became a booming mining town of the fortune-hungry men, saloon shootouts, and barrel room brawls. Its fortune was short-lived, however. By the 1890s, gold strikes elsewhere had drawn crowds away, causing the population to dwindle. Frozen in time, this ghost town became a natural history landmark in the 1960s. Now tourists, not miners, flock here to walk the deserted streets and admire the town's arrested decline. Coming in at number 3, Winchester Mystery House, California, USA. Eccentric and extravagant, this Victorian mansion in California is a maze of dead ends, secret doorways, and stairs that lead to nowhere. Driven by paranoia and superstition, Sarah Winchester, widow of gun magnate William White Winchester, began building in 1884 and ordered the construction should never cease. In 38 years until her death, the residence mushroomed into a labyrinth of architectural oddities 7 stories high. Although damaged in the 1906 earthquake, the house is open to visitors who can explore the 160 surviving rooms. Coming in at number 2, Lee Plaza Hotel, Detroit, USA. The former luxurious Lee Plaza Hotel stands windowless and exposed. It is just one of Detroit's many abandoned places that mark the shocking decline of the major American city. Once at the center of a booming motor industry, the successive blows of economic recession, competition from overseas, and race riots chipped away at Detroit's early prosperity. A staggering 60% of the city's peak population has now moved away, leaving behind a living example of urban decay. And coming in at number 1, Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadelphia, USA. Once the world's most expensive prison, in 1829 the Philadelphia facility boasted grand architecture, modern luxuries, and notorious inmates including Al Capone. One of the first penitentiaries ever built, it combined an impressive design and strict discipline to inspire regret and reform in the hearts of the convicts. Since its closure in 1971, the complex has begun to crumble into a mass of deteriorating cell blocks, which are now recognized as National Historic Landmark. Eastern State Penitentiary is open for visitors year-round. These places were once filled with a lot of people living their lives. Abandoned for different reasons, now they look more like ghost towns, and even the set of some horror movies. The mysteries remain over these formerly crowded and noisy locations can still provoke fear, curiosity, and excitement all at the same time. What do you think of our list? Which of their blood places shocked you? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go for more top 10s.